Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Welcome back from our 3 day weekend. Hope you had a great Memorial Day weekend. We'll get started here just in a few minutes. First, to familiarize yourself with my screen, we'll go over that. And then we'll start with the ES futures, look at a little SPY, QQQ, some China stocks, and then let's look at AMC with Top Gun out there. There's a little bit of momentum behind it, so we'll check that out. And of course, we'll be scanning throughout the day as well, or through the morning for any other type of setup. Again, I hope you guys had a great 3 day weekend. We started off with obviously family and friends, as always. Spent a lot of time on the water. And, when that alarm clock went off this morning, it was, I wouldn't say it was easy as it normally is to get up this morning. So I'm still trying to shake it off. Did a little bit of yoga, did a little bit of meditation, and I think I'm ready for you guys though. So let's go ahead and get started. ES Futures and talk about the chart layout itself. It's a little bit simpler today. And you could see right here, this is Trading View. I use Thinkorswim to execute. Once again, I am the only service that I'm aware of out there that has my brokerage straight to the account. That's right. Everything I trade, you actually see here. I don't have a private account or things that I'm doing on my own that my members aren't seeing. They're directly coming here to the room. Just so we can go over that really quick, I have within Discord, I have a spreads channel, a cash account, and a margin account. The spreads are coming from my margin, and basically those are going to come over here in this area right here. And as you can see, we have small account again, which is cash, my swing account, which is my margin account, and my spreads again is just coming from my margin account. And we could go through all of these, and you guys can see what those look like. And they come in form of the name, the description, whether it's just a straight up call or put, the cost, and then when I sell it, it's going to say whether it's a gain or loss. Very transparent. All right. And then down here, as you guys can see, these are my signals. So I have auto future signals, trendy auto signals. Trendy auto signals are anything that I load in there. It can range from Forex to futures to anything. I mean, anything, any instrument that I want to alert can come in form through the Trendy Auto signals. And they do come with what I would consider an entry and a stop according to my methodology. All right. And then I have my own channel here that's called SPX signals. And this is for those traders out there who specifically like to trade with just SPX. And again, this is going to be entry and stop price according to my methodology. Okay, so again, very transparent here. This is what we're looking at on the right hand side. For right now, let's go ahead and go with, we're going to start out with the cash account right here. And then down here, this is going to be SPX for today. ES futures, as you all know, about 10 points equals about $1 in the SPY. So it's okay. If you don't trade futures, you can still use the blueprint. But if you're still a bit confused, that's okay. We're going to go over the SPY blueprint as well. Okay, so last night we opened up. This is what I call the night PMZ, or the pre-market zone. Basically, what we're looking for are bids above this. We're looking to ride this into 4194, and if we can't break over that, then we're looking at the levels that are on my chart for entry or for targets for a short side. So last night we couldn't go bid over the PMZ. Matter of fact, we came down into the line in the sand. You could see that at 4155. And then below this was what we call a buy zone. Okay, and basically use Fibonacci, range, and candle structure to figure out where these are. And basically you're looking to see where institutions step in. Now, a little bit different with futures, but we still use the same sort of structure. And as you can see, it worked out very well. Matter of fact, the way that we like to trade this is when price comes down into this level, wait for a reclaim, put your risk in, that means your stop, understand what that's going to be, and then look for price to move up from this buy zone. So we break down into the zone, okay? And just so everybody understands, I had somebody out on Twitter once upon a time who asked, well, it didn't touch the green box, John. Well, the outside of the zone is this target right here, and the backside of that zone is this target here, folks. The green is just there for you to see the zone itself, but these are the levels between these two. Okay, so it's really wide. We get that. That's okay. But we're looking for it to go bid. And when it comes in, we wait for the reclaim, then look to take the trade. As you can see, it gave you 20 plus points on the move to the upside. This is very nice. You could set OCOs up. You could set up trailing stops and so forth. Basically, this is a set and forget type of trade. All right. Now, as we wake up this morning, again, this is a smaller time frame, and the reason why I'm doing this is just so I can annotate all the different things that I'm looking at. The night PMZ couldn't go bid. We come down to the line in the sand. Notice how that pivot works really quick, and then we come down into the buy zone overnight. Nice push, 20 plus points, and as we open up, we're here again. Okay. Now, we are not making a lower low at the moment. Matter of fact, the zone is still working, and that just goes to show you proof of concept. Everything I do is about proof of concept. The alerts as well. Okay, what I say is what I do, and I want our members and any of you out there to see that as well. Okay, notice that we go bid here. We're still pushing up, but we need to build a base above this cloud. Let me go ahead and read you some notes really quick. This is important. Every morning I like to do what's called trendy updates. They're just really quick and to the point. I said, welcome back after what felt like a very long 3-day weekend. Overall, the futures are down with oil and China leading in the green, and those are definitely my focus for today. ES. On last night's open, price could not bid above the futures night PMZ. Price pulled back into the buy zone and reclaimed for 20 plus points. Congratulations. Price is currently at the mid support, but price cannot bid above the list. That's here. Okay. Later in the session. All right. Look for price to drift lower to the bottom of the box later in the day. Let me go ahead and draw that out just so that everybody understands. We have the European close at around 10:30. We open up at 8:30 here Central Time. For you guys on the East Coast, that's 9:30, and we're referencing 11:30 for their European close. What I'd like to see is that price can actually, for the bulls, build and move over the line in the sand, pull back into the line in the sand and create a base here, and then we should see a red to green day, and then you could see my resistance line up here towards 41.94. Now, the sentence that I just read to you, what I'm saying there is if they fail to bid above the line in the sand, and your reference point for right now could be the pivots, one here, okay? If we move up towards here, make a lower high and then break down, take out this low, then I'm looking for the lower end of the box. That's right down here towards 40.76, okay, later on in the day. All right, and you can see what that would look like. Lower highs, lower lows, get us down to the end of the box. Now, if we close down here, I'd be looking for a bounce into Wednesday's session. Now, talking about the bigger picture, let's go ahead and turn off all of this. Let's go into the weekly. All right. And as I was saying last week, I was looking for an inside candle. And if you read the newsletter, and please make sure you're reading the newsletter, it's free. It can be found on my Twitter account. It's very good. Gives you great levels to work with for the week. Okay. So here we are. There's this big candle. I was looking for it to go inside, but I referenced and talked about if the candle wants to push outside of that, we're okay, because I'm always a bull at heart. All right. So I'm okay with this big candle. But if you notice, we push right into the EMA cloud, and we keep talking about that, right? Anytime price is underneath the EMA cloud, we're looking for it to be resistance. This is the bigger picture, folks. This is the weekly. Okay. So for long-term traders, those buying the dip and so forth, this starts to look a lot better if we could start to build value above the cloud. All right, so we talked about this a lot last week on the 4-hour. Every time that we broke over on the 4-hour, for some reason, we just kept breaking down, right? Well, the reason was we didn't have enough buyers to sustain a base over that cloud. Well, every once in a while, things change. We broke over, we broke down very quickly, but then look at this. We moved over the 4-hour cloud, bigger than any of these previous times, and it looked really promising. And now here we are breaking right back down into the cloud itself. Again, the bigger picture is right here. the weekly is testing underneath the cloud. Now, personally, I wanted to see something like this, but over a longer period of time. I don't think we necessarily needed to knock out 100 points a session, right? We could have had this longer bull run or relief rally, if you will. You could have just given us 40 to 50 points a day, right? And that would have been a little bit longer, a little bit more fun, because I think it caught a lot of traders off guard. Right? A lot of traders had a hard time executing deer in the headlights. We talk about that a lot. And that's really what this market's all about. It's kind of shock and awe. I think it's just a very difficult time for a lot of different traders out there, okay? So the biggest thing going forward, the bigger look, I think is important. Okay. And I talked about this in the room as well over the weekend, and it's very important now. If we cannot build value over this cloud, please be cautious. Now, there are several other things that we want to look at. The skew, all right, the skew on the weekly, all right, it's still telling us, all right, that it is a risk on environment. Matter of fact, last week, the week before, I told you we were coming into risk on, and it worked well, okay? We had a nice rally going there. Then we look at the dollar, another very important part of the puzzle. See, we want the dollar to fade. We got that fade. We broke underneath the level that I gave you at 103.88, and the market continued to move up, right? But I want you to treat the dollar just like any other stock. If this were Apple and it were pulling back into the cloud, and notice how bullish this is, I would be looking for support at the cloud. So when the dollar starts to bid at the cloud, notice that the market in itself, not oil futures, not China right now, but everything else is pretty much pulling back. All right, so that dollar is supported by the cloud. So what you want to see, all right, and I have some Fibonacci's over here to the right-hand side, is that the dollar start to actually break down below this 0.382. All right, so around 101. And if we really start to break under 99.77, then I do believe that the rally can continue. But for right now, again, looks very bullish. It's bidding right off the cloud. And guess what? The market's pulling back a little bit. Okay, so that's the dollar. Let's go over here to the 10-year Treasury and take a look at that on the TNX. Same thing, folks. Same exact thing, same look. The futures are pulling back a little bit. And we'll get back to that in a second because I think it's healthy. All right. But the TNX, the 10-year Treasury, is coming into the cloud. And now, as you can see, started to bid up. And what I gave my members here is what we call neutral. And as long as price was, I wanted to see price stay in here. So if we start to break down again in the neutral, that's all I want to see. If we continue to move up, please be cautious. If we start to move over 2.93, then things start to look a little bit dicey, as you would say, okay? The next thing that I want to look at is the VIX, all right? And you can take a look here. Overall, this chart has really helped me throughout the year to understand what's going on out there. And we use the trendy edges, and I'm not showing you that on all of the different charts, but I'm going to throw it on here. As you can see, these edges, we look for support at the lower end and resistance at the top. Basically, this comes down to, this is where volatility is happening at the trendy edges. And this is where, at this trendy edge here, is where volatility basically stops. Okay, so you could be buying puts on the VIX up towards this range, and you could be buying calls down towards this range here. All right, pretty straightforward, just using the edges there. We're caught in the middle. If you were to look at this as a stock or you were cautious on volatility, I wouldn't really be concerned unless we start to break over 28.5, 29. For right now, I think we're in resistance and we could see it fall back towards 26, 25.82, and then later into summer and right before earnings, we could find ourselves all the way back to 23. All right, that's what I'm looking for. All right, let's go ahead and get back into the SPY. Then we'll look at the Qs. All right, so SPY, this is what it's looking like this morning. I drew you guys some targets last week that worked out very, very well. You can see that price pushed into or out of our zone. This is what we were looking for. Price pushed up into the trendy edge. We then saw price be rejected. That's what we were looking for. All right. So if you will, this is your sell zone. This is your buy zone. I apologize, I don't have green and red on here, but that's what's going on. And far as today is concerned, I think that the line in the sand going into today, you're going to have to see price start to bid over 415.28. Okay, notice we are at 413.46. We're not down a whole lot. All right, but this trendy edge and this line in the sand, those are resistance until proven otherwise. And what do you do during this time? I think this is the hardest part for most traders. I think this is where most people lose their money, is that I want you to take a box from those levels I just gave you, and you're going to create this box and come down, all right, all the way down to here, and this is going to be a neutral. All right, so for my traders that like to sell credit, you could look at it this way. This is going to be resistance until it's not. We could sell some credit spreads up here. All right, sell some calls. All right, buy some calls. And if price pushes up but cannot break over and then just kind of sits sideways for the day and maybe even fade towards the bottom of that box I gave you, then you just collect the premium up here. Okay, so we'll collect that premium. But what if it goes against you? You buy back the short side and then you ride the long side. I make it sound easy, but you have to have levels. All right, I don't want to make trading sound easy, but I do have levels that help me. So for example, if I were to go long and buy back the short side, I would stay long as we can get over this trendy edge. Okay, and that trendy edge is 416.48. I would keep the long side of those calls. If we can't get over there, you just collect the premium, folks. All right, and again, could see price, if we cannot get over that 416.48, look for price to move back down towards this cloud at 410 and possibly even 405.64. All right, let's go into the Qs really fast. All right, and we do, I mean, this is the bigger picture, kind of like this. All right, this one's a little bit easier. I got support here. We're at what we call the longer term yearly edge, okay, that blue line, and it was almost perfect. We look for price to reject here because price is underneath. All right, notice again that we're down a little bit, not much. We're only down 59 cents, not bad at all. And what I'm looking for is if we can go bid, folks, over 310.02 and bid above, I'm looking for that push into first levels here, 312.60, and then as we move over 312.60, you're looking for the cloud at 316.94. Probably just a little bit below that. Let's call it 316.5. Okay, those are the levels I'm looking at if we can bid over the trendy edge, again over 310.02 on the QQQ. All right, so that is the bigger picture using Trading View. Now let's step into really fast on the neutral strategy. I want to show you something that's very important that I didn't talk about over the weekend, but that is, notice that the neutral boxes, we make this really simple, folks. We keep everything, right? For the last several years, I have all the different charts in here to show you the value of this strategy. So you pick a month and a time frame, and I'll send it to you if you'd like to see it. But for now, I want you to notice inside this neutral, it may be wide, and you may think to yourself, like, seriously, you want me to wait from 301 to 310 to get active? No, I don't. All right. This is the way that we look at this. See this yellow line in here? That's called a future trendy edge, and it's showing us the future. It's showing us where the actual pivot is going to be coming into this week. Notice that prices come down here, and matter of fact, guys, this was here on Friday. Prices come down into that trendy edge and we're starting to bid. Okay, so you could be trying your longs this morning pre-market for my equity traders off of this level. That level was basically at 412 and some change, and we're looking to ride this up. And again, I give you that resistance points. Notice that we need to get over 416.50 in order for things to move freely to the upside. We just talked about that. Over here on the right hand side, we got QQQ. Now notice that the future trendy edge we didn't quite come into, but look at the 4-hour cloud. All right, very important that you have the right levels in order to have a process that works. Okay, I got everything. We could do swing trading, we could do scalp trading, we could do futures trading, forex trading, options, equity. I mean, the list goes on and on. You could trade off the EMA clouds, you could trade off the supply and demand. Either way, I have the process that works for you. I want to make you a more consistent trader. I don't sit up here, I don't show PL, I don't try to trick you into thinking that trading is easy. It's actually very difficult, but what I can do is make trading more consistent for you. All right, meaning every time you go into a trade, you're going to understand what you can lose and you can understand why my targets and my levels work so well. I want to at least be able to share that with you. All right, so there's SPY and QQQ. You can see my targets to the upside. Those are resistance until proven otherwise. And as we said in the newsletter, we have a neutral strategy video in order for you to understand how to trade this. And to the downside, any level that you see, these are going to be support until proven otherwise. Okay? Let's go ahead and minimize that. Let's go into a few China names. Baba, this was a focus for us and we kept this going into earnings. And you can see, I think they currently are up $4 and some change. Nothing too crazy, but I want to show you what this looks like longer term. Okay, so again, we pushed up into the cloud. I scaled out of my position here. Okay, I still have some FUTU, and we'll go over that here in a second. But we came into the cloud, all right, and notice that we rejected, all right? So that was the reason why I went ahead and scaled out. Now we gapped up into this level here. I want to show you how I want to trade that gap going into today. This is a smaller time frame, and this is what it looks like. Here at Trendy Trading, we're going to use the PMZ, the pre-market zone. We've already broken through the resistance. That's great. This is basically like a trigger long. So if you don't want to wait for the entry on reclaim, say we don't pull back into the zone, then your trigger long is over the resistance level. All right. This morning when we open up, we'll watch the PMZ. Remember, if you've been following me for the last several days, we have our wrist down here and the levels are here. So this lets me know if I want to take the trade over the PMZ, let's go ahead and draw that line. It's about right here. Okay. So I want to look at several different things. I want to know where the trendy edges are. Okay, so supply and demand. And I want to know where my targets are or resistance. And remember, the trendy edges to the upside are targets as well. Okay, let's go ahead and go over it. So if we were to break above here, as soon as I take this trade, whether it be equity or options, my risk is here. Now, if that risk is liked for you, you can always round up if you like to. Okay, so instead of 28 cents, I make it 40 cents or something like that. All right. The value that I get out of this is that I believe price can push into the pivot high. So we'd push here or the pre-market high. We would then pull back. And what you want to see for bulls is that we build a flag here and that we can break out. And then my next target is going to be right up here at 99.66. If none of this happens, if we can't break over the PMZ, and we start to fade back into the buy zone, I'm looking for an entry on reclaim out of this level. But what if price just continues to break down? Let me show you that too. It has to be a if this then that, okay? Or you're going to just leave people high and dry. They're going to be like, well, what do I do now? Price breaks through, let's say it never reclaims, then you just leave it alone, folks. Just leave it alone, see if it comes back and fills the gap, and you could try down here, okay? That's what that looks like. Now this is in the room, folks. This is what we call a positive neutral. We actually went over this, I think, on Friday and showed you the value of that on open. SPY, I believe, Thursday and Friday, we showed you guys winning trades just using this methodology very quickly. And we continue to do the same here for BABA, okay? So again, this is a positive neutral. We'll see if price can break out of the PMZ, and if it does, look for this pivot high up here, and if we build value, once again, could see 99.66. All right, let's go ahead and go over here to FUTU. All right, I currently do have a position in this, and what I'd like to see is this green line supported 37. Let's just make sure 37.26, and this resistance, as you can see, it is resistance at 37.67. Everything between here would just be a neutral. And for me, just to make it easy, I always like to have some sort of visual. All right. And so we're going to go like this. And I'm going to create this that says neutral. So I don't do anything in here. I just look for this to be supported. If we could break out of the PMZ and over the resistance, same thing as BABA, it looks exactly the same. We'll see if we can come up here and test 37.98. Matter of fact, because I have a position, I want to know if we get over that. I'm going to place that alert there. And if we start to break over that, then we could see 38.77. If, just like BABA, if it starts to break down, I don't know if this candle is real or not, but if it is, then we'll look to see if we get the gap fill. Okay. All right, so let's go over into CL futures. All right, oil futures, and here we go. This, I talked about a little bit in my newsletter, talked about it in the room here. This one's important. You know, this is like, I feel like I'm winning, like it was a good week last week. It's actually been, you know, a really good month far as like keeping my losses small, right? That has like been my focus for a long time, especially this year. And I think that I'm doing really well. We got a really good set of rules going for me. Mainly, I'm coming into market with intraday until proven otherwise for the most part. Meaning, if my positions aren't under 30, you know, or more than 30% on the loss side, I'm holding. If I make over 100%, I'll hold as well and kind of scale out. But my stops are at or around 30%. Okay, but that has to be lined up with my levels. I'm not going to just take a stop because it's 30%. All right, it's a little bit different. I'm not just going off of 30%. It just so happens to be at or around that level. Now, the oil, what I was getting to is even though I may be winning, I feel like I'm losing sometimes, right? When I'm going to the pump, and I keep talking about that because things at the pump are super expensive. We do a lot of water activities. I live here on the water, and it's expensive, you know. And anytime you start to think, it brings me back to 2008, 2009 when I bought my first Dodge Durango. That's right. That thing was a gas guzzler. This reminds me of that time because I remember I had to think about it. Like, do I want to eat today or do I want to put gas in my car? Right? And anytime you start to think that way, things are real. And so I want to know what the oil futures are doing. I love trading oil futures. All right, I like using my process on here. This is a rounding bottom. This entry on reclaim I've shown you guys for several months and weeks has worked very, very well. This is where you want to go long oil. I didn't want it to hold though. You know, isn't it funny, Murphy's Law? I wanted my zone to actually break for oil to actually pull back maybe into 73 over time. But it's rounding out, looks absolutely stunning. And if we bring it down into a smaller time frame, last night I gave you this blueprint. All right. I know this is not like truly a double top, but I just put this line here so that you could understand. Once we broke through here, you're looking to go long. Matter of fact, oil is up $4.16, and it looks like we're headed to the supply zone of about 123.15. If we start to build value above there, then obviously we're going for this high over here around 130, 131, just in time for us to travel down to the Keys this week. Anyways, I want to make this really simple for you. My notes for this, even though we're having a relief rally in the market, as long as rates are up, inflation's up, oil's up, buying the dip, I think you need to be careful. Time it. Learn how to time it by using the things I just showed you, the SKU, the dollar, the TNX, supply and demand on ES futures, NASDAQ. We timed it perfectly. But how long that bounce is going to sustain in the market is the big question right now. And just be careful. Have a plan. Don't get overly excited and understand that things are still definitely a yellow to red flag. Have fun. Always be a good steward of your money, okay? Let's get over here to SPY. We're going to make this quick and easy. We're going to go to the last week we got to show you the PMZ and how it works on the bull side. Let's see how today works. Okay. This is what we call a negative positive, okay? And we're going to zoom in here. We're going to go to 5 minutes. Again, a negative positive. All right. And what we're looking for on a negative positive is for price to push into the line in the sand. That is the higher probability. Okay. This is the PMZ. This is the line in the sand. This is where current price is. Again, a negative positive. See how it's red? That means it's negative. But price is above. That's a positive. See what happens. Remember, your risk, 40 cents, folks. So for my equity traders, pre-market, if you were taking this trade, right, over 412.81, your risk was 40 cents. I mean, you're already up, but you understand what I'm saying. All right, we also have TTWO. Let's go over here really quick and take a look at it. I'll probably, as we get closer to my vacation, going to the Keys, I want to make sure I'm scaling out and really intraday trading. Nothing worse than taking a vacation and having a bunch of positions on and it not going well for you. But the good thing is I don't leave until right before the weekend, so it's okay. Let's get back over there to SPY. I'll let you guys know when I do something. You'll obviously know because my alerts pop up over here. Let's see if this PMZ is going to hold here. I have on puts on the SPY that we went into the weekend with. So we'll see if this works out or not. I mean, it's already up. All right, guys. So we're breaking down below here. If you're wanting to go short, then I would look at stops above 412.85. Let's look at the ES futures really quick. I'm not going to do anything because I have longs and I have some shorts on here. Let's look at the ES futures. All right, right back into the zone. Remember, we're making that lower low now. Let's see if we can go bid here. Let's see, Futu about at 135, so we are going to, there's a little bit of a bid here. And drink a little coffee. Still in the neutral. You'd want bulls to reclaim above 41.26. And these right here are from last week, guys. Nothing new so far. Let's see what the Trinity auto signals. Yeah, you can see. Let's get down to, yeah. And then futures, some buys on the oil, short on NASDAQ and the US. And our butterfly, the butterflies that I have as a hedge are Friday expiration. And those are up. And you can see here with the oil futures up, ES down. Let's look at the dollar really quick. Give me 1 second, folks. All right, so we're coming in on about 30% on this hedge. I know some of you guys are hedged with directionals, so that's good. Yep. There was a sell on the 5 minute. Let's look over here. Pretty sure I have. Do I have the SPY on here? Maybe I don't. Maybe I need to set it up. And I'd be careful. Let's see. If we get a sell signal down here towards the edge, I'm going to ignore it. We're already short, so. After yesterday, so for the pre-market, one thing that I didn't talk about was the big move that we had last week that I, spoke about in my write up over the weekend. Is that after a big move like that, we would expect some digestion. So my thought was Tuesday, Wednesday, we get ready for econ news coming in on Thursday and Friday. I believe today, if you guys can verify, I think that we have Jerome and Biden meeting up or something like that. I think I saw that somewhere. And I'm going to try to cover a little bit at the edge here. Okay. And just for anybody, so you guys can see here, I'm gonna put this on my spreads. Let's see if we can get filled. I doubt it. Maybe. I'd have to. Oh, there we go. You can see right here, guys. I just got filled. I covered a little bit down at the edge. So this happens within milliseconds, which is really nice. My members don't have to wait for me to type stuff out. And, I've never heard of a complaint that people trying to get my fills. Like when you go into other services and like typing stuff out, and then you see their alert, and then you go and you look, and you're like, he got in at $2. It's at 260, right? So this alleviates that big time because it's millisecond, it's instant, you know. So all you have to do is pay attention. You can actually set up your platform to kind of look like this so that you can see all the different signals and alerts coming through to kind of help you. Remember, it's that proof of concept. So basically, proof of concept in this situation is that I'm covering at a trendy edge. So it's not quite there. That's okay. It might come in and flush it or something like that. But I want to trim at my levels. Okay. Sorry, I'm watching my wife. She's down at the dock and drinking her coffee, hanging out. There we go. There's a little touch of the edge. And let's see. Those are still hanging out at 30%. Not bad. Things actually don't look too bad, right? I mean, Futu came back in, unfortunately. We could have got out probably 10% or so, 20%, but I won't. Just leave it there. XLE looking pretty good. USO. Upstart is a name that I'm definitely interested in if we prove that this pullback. What I want to do, like during pullbacks like this, look at those strong names and see how they're reacting. Um, Oil starting to come down just a tad. Not much. I'd like to see it fade a little bit. AMC came down quite a bit. Roberto, did you make any money from that? Did you jump out as soon as we opened there? Baba still up about $3. Let's go over to that Baba just really quick and see how that looks. There we go. There's your entry on reclaim. You can see buyers are stepping in at the moment. That was our blueprint from this morning. I'd like to see the candle close above. Let's see if it does. I like Baba because I feel like the options aren't that expensive, and you can get like some really big moves in China names. A lot sometimes it's not in your favor, But that's why I prefer with China names to go out of the money. Okay. Let's see. Amazon's giving me a buy signal. I'm gonna come over here real quick. Just take a quick look. Oh yeah. I don't know. See, the risk is 6 over here, but it's more than that now. It's a lot more than that. Um, yeah, 23.12, and we're at 23.50. Maybe they want 2,500, huh, for a pin this week on Amazon. What do you guys think? They have the, I believe it's this week. I could see what looks like a pretty big butterfly going on here. Good. Good, good, good. 6.6. Thank you. So next week, what do you think? 2,500? This is the bigger picture. So this is kind of like the BABA blueprint that I just gave you guys. All right. So notice it came down into the bottom portion of the box and started to go bid. Kind of a secret there. Not like a big secret, but if you have great zones, the entry on reclaim is a nice trade, and the lower end of the box is typically a really good trade. It's okay if it's not. You get stopped out. You got to get used to getting stopped out, guys. If it doesn't work right away. Just. All right, PMZ trades for anybody that's listening. RH is in the PMZ, RKT, oil futures, ZB futures, Twitter, CVX. Check those out if you want. Only thing I've done so far is just cover a little bit of a short. Nothing too crazy. Also, here's your entry on reclaim for BABA. All right, very beautiful trade. If you took that and you listened, you're already making money. I didn't. Let's see if my chat's working on here. Let's see. Yeah, I could look at Lulu. All right, so if you took this, which I'm sure some of you did, if you took this on entry on reclaim, what you want to see are bids now above 98.34. Be careful. This is basically a relief bounce on a pullback. So it's just all about quick profits at the moment until we start seeing bids above that level. Okay, let's look at Lulu. A little request out there for Lulu. Let's go into a higher time frame. All right, so the daily is in the cloud. And let's go ahead and right click on here and remove old drawings. We're at the trendy edge, trying to build value above there. The weekly, there is some divergence. This is an inside and up right now. All right. So your target for right now is going to come right here. And we have a video on how to find targets, so I'm not going to go deep into that. And this is going to be a target. So what I'm going to do in here is a trim. Right, and then you want to know where your support is. Your support is actually going to be, in this case, at the 0.236 of this level. All right, and this, I wouldn't want to be in the trade if it breaks down below here. And I'm going to double check with some smaller time frames to make sure that support makes sense. And it does. There's an inside and up here. Yeah, so let's go ahead with this. All right, so this is what it looks like. Your support at the moment is 286. Current price is 294. Lulu, is it moves. All right, so you can't have, in my opinion, unless you're trading the PMZ on the daily, you can't have like a really tight stop. Right. So if you're looking at swings, then I like this type of stop. If you're looking at scalping, I'll give you that here in a second. But the bigger picture is 286 holds. Then we're looking for 309 to 316. Okay. There's also a gap fill. So instead of 309, let's just call it 30480. 30480. All right. So there's a gap fill in there. All right. Does that make sense? WTH. And then this is your support. And let's go to a smaller time frame so we can look at the PMZ. Okay, pull that up right here. All right, in your PMZ, the risk is $1.16. That lower level is 292.11. Current price is 294, so it's about a $2 stop, a little bit over $2 stop. And you can see here resistance comes in at 296.55. This is a trendy edge, by the way, and this is a trendy edge. So I'm not sure if you're a member or not, WTH, but this is the edges, and this is for scalp trading. So we want to look to go long at the bottom of that edge, and you want to look to trim out right in here. Okay. So that's more of a scalp look. I think the open's going to be a little wild. You got to have some patience, guys. If you're just watching every tick, it can be very exhausting, especially during some of this stuff here. All right, there's Baba. Nice push. Got you right into the pre-market zone. See that? Boom, from here into the pre-market zone and back down. That's exactly range-bound activity right there. Remember, if you try this out, guys, it's only $5 for 7 days. This is still, it's a little ridiculous to be honest with you, with all the stuff we're going to show you. But keep in mind, I'm going to the Keys on Friday. All right, leaving out of here. We're taking boats and we're all going down there for fishing, and it's kind of funny because we live on the water here, and it's weird to think I'm taking a vacation where I'm going to be renting someone else's home on the same exact water. So I hope it's really neat. I heard the water is a lot more clear there, and the fishing is great. So looking forward to that. Fresh fish. We love to fish. So there's 3 of us taking boats. Should be a good time. All right, guys. Let's go over here to SPY really quick. But I'm going to be gone for a week. I'm still going to be trading, just not as active. I doubt if I'll be live. I might be live. We'll see. I've always heard that the internet is a little weird down in the Keys. We'll see if that's true or not. Matter of fact, I'm going to reach out to my buddy right now. Yeah, Lulu. Okay, so if you want to do Lulu earnings, I actually trade levels and give levels for earnings. You probably watched me do a little bit of that last week. If not, it's pretty neat. But yeah, you're looking at oil and thinking about airline and cruises. Are people itching for vacations with this inflation and oil prices? Looks like Lulu has ER on 6.2. Get Starlink. Is that something that I could just like get while I'm down in the Keys for a week? Let's see. So what we want to do if Lulu is on the second, join me tomorrow, and we'll come up with the levels that we want going into earnings. Okay, and I'll be able to give you some really good levels. And usually, what I like to do is if I do it by a debit condor, not a credit condor. You ever wake up and you just feel like you're tired? Like you know you look tired. It's like, man, one of those days. All right, still no SPX. Let me make sure I have some of my alerts going. Let's see, stopped, expired. Oh, that's weird. Let's there we go. We'll restart the SPY signals, and let's go down here and make sure everything else is on. I got Tesla on as well. Costco's on. Don't need those. Good. And I might be able to give you something here. So WTH. Let's look at Lulu just really quick while we're just sitting here. Yeah, my positions, I mean, yeah, my Futu just went up. Nice. That means Baba's probably working out of that zone pretty well, huh? Whoops, I just got rid of one of my. Damn it. Yeah, let's see. All right. So let's do a little magic here. It almost seems like limited to the upside. You know, um, I'd prefer. I've been saying this for a long time. I prefer Lulu lower. You know, I really would. I'd like to see it come down. Let's look at the monthly really quick. I mean, the monthly came okay. I'd like to see it come down to 225. I'd be a buyer around 230 to. I know it sounds like a big zone, but if we get like a big flush on earnings, 180. So 230 to 180, somewhere in that zone, and I would dissect it and find something really good in there. But that's over the next several weeks is where I'd like to see Lulu regardless if they bounce on earnings. Okay. That's just me. That's my bias. But also, there is demand down here towards that 225. Okay. Far as up, it's range bound. You can see right here, there's an inside and down. Let me take this off really quick and zoom in. Okay, so you have the inside and down. You have topping wicks. So there's a lot of selling pressure here by the edges. And this is a zone. Okay, so we're kind of stuck for a while. And then we have supply up here as well. So we have to create demand or find demand. And that is my specialty. So, that's going to come in right here to possibly down here. And so that is the bigger picture. Far as like a bounce, I think we go to, I think it's going to be tight to the upside. I really do. So it may not move as much as people want it to. But, for right now, 310 to 320 upside potential. If it gets there by earnings, then I would expect a different range, and I'll be able to give that to you guys tomorrow. And then to the downside would be, potentially a gap fill, towards 265 to 250. And if it starts to break down below there, I'll get my 225. But we'll create those zones tomorrow. That's weird. Let me look at SPX really quick. Kind of surprised I don't have any signals yet. Oh, I guess I don't. That's okay. Yeah, I don't have any signals yet. So I may try some SPX here in the cash account, folks, once I get a signal, okay? But nothing for right now. That's okay. Yeah, they had a great trip. It was sad to see them leave, but we'll see them again soon. Are you guys still headed down here in July timeframe? Let's get over here to Roku. This guy's breaking down. I'd expect that 91, possibly. Implied volatility is 108%. Do we have earnings or something coming up? No. I see. Okay. I'm not going to do anything there either. Baidu has kind of kept their strength, out of Futu and Baba. A little bit different look, but into resistance, so I'm not going to do anything there. VIX is sitting at 27.91. Remember, over 28.50, I'd be concerned. I think that's what I said earlier this morning. Let's look again. Just be patient, guys. One thing I want to keep reiterating to you is that the market is digesting this bigger move, all right, that we had last week. That's all that's going on here. All right, so the VIX came into the edge, as you can see, and rejected. That's what we want to see. If it continues, if we start to fade under 27.70, we may, if the market is, working, we should see the market start to pop here shortly, just a little bit. Maybe. We'll see. Let's look at Google. Well, actually, let's just go to ES Futures really quick. Okay, we're still sitting at the trendy edge, as you guys can see. Um, Remember, when we get towards here, I'll probably take some micros if we get down there. Or I'll take micros over this pivot if we get back above the 41.25. This could be an area I could try, but again, I'm waiting for this later on into the day, so it's kind of hard for me. But this is a level, and you can see you could have traded it several times already. Again, trade the levels, go along here into here. May not look like a lot to you, but that's 41.05 into 41.21, 15 points, or about $700+ contract. And we're getting a little bounce here again. Just notice, depending on the time frame you're on the 5 minute that we have here, we continue to reject at the cloud. Okay. I could try some futures to the downside after we break this level, if we do as well. If we do. Again, we're just kind of hanging out at this level. My Futsu had went positive and back to red. There it goes. Also, the 90s on Roku look interesting. The put side. Let's see if we get one more pop, and then an opportunity to go short here. And what I'm watching here is right here. We're getting these top and wicks, and we got this edge. So we're underneath it. We want to see. I'd like to see an inside and down off of this, but you can get, started. It's just that the risk right now is the divergence between the edge and the cloud. So you could pop easily into here before head it back down. So hey, baby. All right. And there's that pop I was talking about. And if you're thinking about shorting, it'd be right in this area up here towards 41.14. And see how it reacts. So there it is right there. Looking pretty violent though, right? Right off the edge though. Mm. Let's see, AMC. Right into that support that I drew this morning. VIX is crossing below 2769, and I said that's when we'll start to see a pop. And you can see that we got a little bit of a pop, but nothing too crazy. Let's go over here to SPY and QQQ. Again, trading the levels. This level down here, bottom levels are support until proven otherwise. You can see 410.13 holding. Not much to do. Pretty boring. Digestion. Chop. Let's go back over here to Baba and see how that level is working. Go to a 5 minute. Broke through. It worked for a few minutes. Broke right through. See if we can get back over it. Going across, just, scanning. Things are, just pretty much flat. You got Google at $2. Goldman Sachs, up 70 cents. The things that are down, they don't look too bad. Just looks like digestion. Like if you think about last week's move up and then think about today's pullback, just like sitting in the sweet spot. It takes a lot of time and patience. You don't want to do anything silly. We don't really have any sort of direction after a pullback. And if you guys recall, this is what we're basically looking at is you have candles, that you had some very big extension candles. So if we're going to measure that with some Fibonacci, you know, just measure here. And again, as long as price is digesting within this range, I would say at 25, 40, 35 to 25%. So somewhere in here, in here, then I wouldn't do anything. Just let it digest. So, like for example, this is Baba, right? And if you take that low down here and you come up to the pivot high, notice how we're just like chilling right here at the 20, 25%, 23%. Nothing to do. Just leave it alone. It's where most people get beat up. Because they can't stay patient. All right. So off the edge, I'm trying to see what time is it? 9:19. Still super early. Let's see if we reclaim above the cloud here. Look for signs. Watch Apple down $1.80. Let's actually pull up a two chart just like this. I'm gonna put Apple right here. Yeah, there we are reclaiming the 41.26 level. Pretty impressive so far. Oil's fading just a little bit. Remember the VIX also, was coming down a little bit. Yeah. See, all that time just been relaxing, covered some shorts, just chilling. And I mean, if you're scalping, cool. If you're in swings, just a time to relax. I read in a book a long time ago, I always share with everybody. The first 30 minutes, an hour, if you're holding swings, you really should kind of just chill. So perfect. A little oil fade, some VIX fade, and then we get a little bounce there, but nothing too. Let's watch some AMD as well. We go to the daily on AMD. Inside day thus far. All right, guys, we're 20% up on Futu now. Not huge, but our cash account, our small account, has been doing pretty well for the most part. And AMD is interesting here. You have the ES futures kind of stalling at the edge. Not much going on, but trying to hammer out. It feels like it's going to be an inside day for AMD, so hard for me to hard for me to go long right now with the ES coming into resistance. I almost want to sell credit here, but the problem is that we still have several days. I'd rather sell credit um, towards Thursday. I'd rather see inside and up. So if we go inside, yeah, I'm just going to wait. Amazon continues to look pretty good. Baidu. Looking for red stocks today too, like Dollar Tree. Let's see what Dollar Tree looks like. Had a nice move last week. And you guys can see um, that I jumped into an intraday trade here on AMD, and I'm getting ready to trim as well. And I've already trimmed just now. So see how quick that is. Um, so 9:30, and then this one was 9:31 and 43 seconds. But you could see exactly what do I have my volume on? You can see exactly what I bought. Buy to open AMD 3 June limit order 0. 0.5 110 calls. This is for the small account. This is currently up 22%, or sorry, 35%. Futu is up 22%, guys. I'm probably going to close pretty soon because I am trying to intraday, And you can see I just closed Futu for 19.26%. AMD is at 30%. You could do a rolling or a stop here. A trailing stop, sorry. I'm still waking up, man. It's been an hour. I've been up for hours and I'm still waking up. So, anyways, you could put your stops at entry if you wanted to. Again, we entered at 50.5. It's up to you. I'm gonna hold that though for a bit. It's at 32%. And let's go back over here and check out ES futures. See what we got going on. All right, momentum is red to white. We are trying to reclaim the edges in the way. There is a small supply zone here, so it feels range bound at the moment. So, and I'm just kind of intraday trading right now. So I'm going to put a stop on my AMD. It was a nice little push for us really quick. And like I said, you could get 30+% out of this already. What I do is bring the stops to in the money. Sometimes, a lot of times, that actually kicks me in the butt. Meaning, I'll make some money, then it'll come back, it'll stop me out, and then just run. But I'm also trying to preserve capital, you know. But the nice thing is, in hindsight, if you get stopped out, you don't lose, right? If it keeps going down on you. You'll see if I get stopped here, it'll tell you I got stopped, which is cool as well. Green means I entered, blue means I trimmed, and red means I closed or stopped on the position. All right, let's go over here to AMC. We had a blueprint for that this morning as well, and it worked very well. Notice from support from $14, you're now up 80 cents. I didn't give you many charts this morning, but the charts that I did give you are working out pretty well for relief bounces. Baba worked the first time in the zone. It flushed the first zone, reclaimed again. This resistance level is a biggie. This one's just kind of range bound after the gap up. Let's go to Walmart. Just going to pick out some names here. Walmart is at the yearly, which is a big deal. We need to go to a higher time frame. Notice that the zone worked for 120 into current price at 129. And we're in the cloud. We have a lot of, we have some gap stuff there, 131 all the way up to 145. Let's see. What's that Walmart look like? Let me try that as well. You'll see that pop up here. Oh, there's my stop, just so you guys can see it. See how it says stop? Boom, stopped. Made 4% on the stopper. Then I entered 131s on Walmart. These are just intraday trades. And I still have spreads on NFE. Bought some time there. It's just digesting. The bigger move comes over resistance. I could sell some call credits this week. I have 17 days out, so I could sell some credit if I wanted to. Let's see. On Walmart, I'll give it 30%, 30 35% stop. Give it a little bit of time. And then let's see. The only thing I could do is sell credit 17 days out on NFE, so that doesn't help me. I have the 50 by 60s for 45 days out. And TTWO is down just about 18%. I'm going to give it a little bit of time though. It's a swing for me. So about the 50s. Yeah, there's nothing I can really do over here on NFE, so I'm not going to touch it. All right, let's see if we can get some PMZ trades going. Pre-market zones. We got Roku in the zone, I believe. Yep. The risk on this is 35 cents. Needs to break though. This Roku, I like this digestion right here. If we break over the line in the sand, we could get a nice move today. So I'm gonna just create an alert right there. Nvidia is showing a little bit of strength as well. Upstart. There we go. We're moving over the PMZ there on Roku. AMD came back and stopped me out and moved, kind of like I said. And if the market starts to really turn, I'll jump back in a couple of these things here. Not a biggie. On equity trades, I really like because you could do a bracket order on this type of stuff. You could scale in. If you don't get stopped, you scale in, you add as we break above the line in the sand. Nice move on NFE. This is a PMZ. I have a scanner that tells me all the stocks that are entering the PMZ, so that makes it nice. Other ones as well, Baidu right now and Bros. Bros is in there as well. And you can see I could go to these, and what's really cool is I know what my risk is, and I just kind of go through these really quick, and I always have this plan, how I want to approach, if I were to take the trade out of the PMZ, what is my risk? It's 20 cents. Like that's nothing, right? Um, where could price stop? Look at all these topping wicks around the trendy edge. And so I have to weigh my options. 20 cents risk for, the top of this. I'd be taking the trade at 37.80 and maybe I get 37.95. Like, is that worth it? No, right? I'd much rather wait for a break above here. So that is not something I'd be interested in. That's Bros. Blink. Okay, now this one's different. Check this one out. Risk 12 cents. I don't have any edges above at the moment, except for way up here, and this one up and to the left. So I like this, the stop is really tight though, so I would increase it for myself. Notice how the edge worked really well, and notice how the edges are pivoting and working very well for this trade. So Blink might be something that I'm interested in, for an intraday trade. So I put in Blink. I'll look at the options. And let's just say I took this. You'll see it pop up over here. The spreads I don't particularly like. They're 52 by 65 and 31 by 43 for the 17 and a halves. 17 and a half may be something I like. Roku is crossing that level I just gave you guys a few minutes ago. So that's working very quickly. And another thing that you can do is you can actually program, which is really cool. I can show you over here, guys, what you can do. And this is my cash account, by the way, is come over here. And let's just say that I liked the 17 and a halves. I can right click on this and program it to buy when the equity price breaks over my level, you know, which my levels are down here. So I don't have to sit in front of the trade and just stare at it. I like OCOs, one cancels the other, or conditional orders. I like those because I feel like they take a little bit of the anxiety out of trading. You see it, you know it, you program it, and you leave. And there's only two things that can happen: you get stopped out, or you hit your target. I mean, I don't understand why people have such a hard time, sometimes with programming their trades, because I do feel like they can help quite a bit. Now, there's a lot of times I don't program because I'm talking and teaching and so forth. So, but let's go up here to AMD. Nice push, by the way, out of the PMZ. That's what we were looking at earlier. And it continues to move. I kind of like, the 108 up here is very attractive. We could do a butterfly on this. And those 108, maybe like 106 to 110. Let's see what those butterflies look like. Let's do 105 to 110 by 115 and see what that comes out to about $1, and that pays pretty nicely. Personally, I like the little bit further out, 106, 110, 14. Yeah, I like this one a little bit more. Let's go to Trendy Trading. Let's do that. All right, so that just came in. I want to show you guys what that looks like. So on my spreads, so it comes in immediately. This is what I paid for. You can see here. These are smaller trades right now. Um, and the way that I like to approach my spreads is what I pay is my risk on the trade. So if I paid 39 bucks, 39 bucks is my risk times whatever the amount of options. Okay. But you can see I don't have to write anything, which is really nice. Um, Now I will write if I feel like there's some explanation behind something. Let's see if I can find anything in here. NFE, this is a roll with partial profits. I'm targeting the YE, which is one of my edges for 60 bucks. Um, or sorry, the target was $60. SPY, I'm net long on SPY, but buying the SPY butterfly puts for a 400 pin. If I'm wrong, I had the June 10 410 calls. And so, yeah. So you can see I'll put notes on here as well if needed. Okay. SPX, we had a 3 minute buy, and we had actually a couple. Yeah, we had several buy triggers come in. I said earlier, when I go back and look, the first sell signal I wasn't open to because we had already sold off so much. Okay, and we were selling off into a level, and so I didn't want to mess with that. All right, and we are over here. I'm actually using some 3 minute signals, and those are working out very well. But your entry was here, stops are under here. Let's see if we can move up into 4150 to 4160. And what was that chart I was looking at just a few minutes ago? Blink. Let's look over there, just real quick. Yeah, still hasn't done what I want it to do yet. Old name from the past. I'm gonna get some more water. I'll be right back. All right, guys. So as you can see, nothing has happened. Let's see. The SPY came up. ES futures came up. The VIX came down. Like I said, once we broke below that level, things started to change a little bit. Taking a few trades already. Um, not so bad. Not bad. AMD. I did some butterflies. Oh, I rolled from profits. Blink is getting ready to go. I feel like we'll see how it reacts here. And again, we could program this if we want. Looks kind of range bound. I don't know. I don't like the spreads on this thing. So maybe buying a spread would make sense. It pays about 100% if you buy the 17s and sell the 18s. I'd much rather go for it though and see if we can get like out of this digesting area. You know, it's been here for 2 days, actually, several days. So a break out of here could lead us into 18. Not too bad. Maybe do a limit order. See if it comes back down. What just happened? That was weird. It let me in at 20 cents. So I thought I would get, I thought it would take a bit. So, okay, I'm in. It's right here, as you can see. We'll see if we get that break. Hey, man, it's just fun. It's just trading, guys. It's a lotto, of course. I'm going to put a lotto on this. I don't know. I haven't traded this thing in ages. So I'm gonna put a note on there. Sometimes what you can do though, if something, if momentum pushes in our favor, then you could take advantage of that, right? So you want to set your trades out there. So for example, if you got in at 20 and we break, I think you could sell for 30 very quickly and make 50% on a trim. So you want to go ahead and set those orders up. Don't be trying to get out when things start going in your favor, or you're just kind of standing in line, you know, and those things go against you. So, anyways, little lotto there. We'll see what happens. And I am doing a little bit more day trading than I typically do, but that's okay. I feel good. Our Walmart is up as well, guys. So small accounts up, and it's looking good. Being patient. Long-term NFEs come all the way back today. SPY, we were able to cover some of that short. Okay. And TTWO, being patient with it. Nothing to be concerned about. And we got a butterfly on AMD from profits. So we'll just and I won't sit here and watch this. Let's go over here and look at SPX and look at so far your results on a bunch of buy signals. As you can see, they just kept coming in at 933. So I'm going to take you over to there and I'm going to take off my cloud for a minute. I'm going to take you to the 3-minute, okay, and show you what's happening here. So our first alert came in at 41.30. I want to say it was this. Yep, it was this candle here. And the stop on this particular trade was 41.20. So just under. So the setup basically looks like this. Okay, and then your targets would be, if you got the pop, you could already been trimming up here, but your targets are going to look like this. Okay, you just use the edges. I mean, it's that easy. Okay. All right, Walmart's already at 20% on this small account. I know a lot of people, they try to get like the crazy returns, but we try not to like buy five five penny options and sell them for 20 cents and stuff like that. I try not to. I could do that um, all day long using the system. I don't know why. I go in and out sometimes because I'm trying to figure out, what people are interested in, but it to each their own. Like if you want to pick a different option, you can and get different percentage results. But I'm just putting in sell orders on my stuff. There's no reason, like I said, to sit around and wait. You want to be, just in case you get a spike in something that you like, you always want to have a trim in. Always. You don't want to come back. That was me in the early days. You're like, oh man, I bought an option for $1 and it went to 5 and I didn't have a sell in. So pick a level, that you would like to trim and make sure you have that put in. Nice, good job, Roberto. Yeah, I'm not trying to get crazy or anything. Just trying to make a little money. I'm not sure what happened here though. Give me 1 second. Something was weird. Okay. What was that? Oh, I see. There we go. All right. So I closed Walmart at 28%. Just trying to show you guys some pretty easy trades just using the system. I'm not saying this doesn't go up to 280%. That's up to you. I'm just here to show you the system and how, I wouldn't say easy, I hate saying that, but how consistent you can be by just using the levels that I provide and the different signals and um, the trendy edges and so forth. So already we had gains on Futu, Walmart, AMD, and Blink is also up. And then we'll go over here to and so far SPX is also up. Yep, nice push on SPY. Don't forget your SPX auto signals, guys. This is what I need to do. Like I said, see this cup? This is my favorite cup in the world. And I'm over here using this thing. We need to pour the coffee into this cup. And then I can set the temperature on my phone to stay at like 134 degrees, which I could tell you is amazing. Let's look at the advancers really quick. Give me 1 second. Just trying to get it sorted out. I think I should just. Can I? I forget. Let's see. Yeah, show name. There we go. Let me do this over. I need to do this better. Do not show on the right. Okay, boom. These will help you tremendously, guys, if you don't have this. Scalp longs. And I'll show you here in a second how we're going to use this. So let's get out of that. Anytime you're going to use the advancers using anywhere from a 1 minute to 5 minute chart. Don't go over that. Okay. And this is what we have here. All right. So notice that the section that we're in is sell the rip on the day. Okay. So we've done well trading some things to the upside. So if you think about it, selling the rip would mean only selling or trying to go short at key levels. So on an intraday perspective, we'd be waiting for it to push up into a cloud, right? So let's get this out of the way. And we'll come over here and use the ES futures as an example. You could use Apple, it doesn't matter. All right, so sell the rip, okay? Here's a great example, guys. Selling the rip would mean, notice how the edge works here. We push up into the edge, sell the rip. You sell here, okay? Here we don't sell. We were going to sell if we could start breaking down underneath, but we wouldn't or couldn't. And then we find support here. So selling the rip, this is a rip, and then you're trimming into that edge. Okay, that's called selling the rip. Or, I mean, you don't even have to go short. So you could be trimming your longs, kind of like we did, right? That's all that is. Okay. So just using levels. And I mean, even if it was buying the dip, let's just say that the advancers were, at 2000 or whatever. Buying the dip would mean you're waiting and waiting for the edge, and then you're going long. Okay? Any questions on that? And again, these are the levels right here. These have worked very, very well over the years. So it's kind of like, intraday setup. Nice steady day so far. Notice how that support that I drew this morning continues to be support. All right, so we're coming into the European close in about 16 more minutes. So we'll kind of, I'm going to take a break. I'm going to sit on my dock, monitor from the laptop or even the phone, since I have my scripts on my phone. Thank you, TradingView. I don't know why Thinkorswim can't do that yet, but TradingView does, and I appreciate that. So it allows me to work on the go if needed, or at least manage and see the levels that I need to, which really makes me happy. Happy. Let's see here. I'm going to keep this, I'm going to keep it on SPY on the 5 minute. There we go. Well, I'll keep it on ES. Sorry, guys. I have more levels on there. So you can kind of see what's going on. Notice we're making lower highs, guys. Okay. All right, so I'm going to take a break, probably for about 15 minutes or so. So give me 1 second. There we go. I'll be back here shortly. All right, guys. So, as I was saying, sorry about that. Went about 5 minutes over. Was really enjoying my time out there in the sun. It's pretty warm, and you know, everyone's out. It seems like they're cutting grass. One of my buddies, he owns a lawn service, um, and does very, very well. I mean, very well. And it's very interesting. I remember when I was a kid, I used to go around and ask people to cut their grass. Um, and I did very well. I actually lived here in Florida. My father was in the Air Force, and I would go out, and I remember the yards were so big. The yards are big here. Even our property here on the water, this is an older home. This is a 1978 home. We remodeled some of it. We still have a lot of remodeling to do, but the um, yards, I mean, especially here, the yard's pretty big. The frontage to the water, we have 100 feet of dock space and water view, which is quite a bit. You know, absolutely love that about this older property. There's like some pros and cons, obviously, of having an older home. I feel like I'm constantly have some kind of to-do list, something's always needing to be fixed and so forth. But and the installation, or the installation is not the best. Yeah, who knows? Dip and rip. Who knows? Who knows what people are doing? I know it's pretty quiet out there. I think it's maybe everybody is still on vacation. But anyway, sitting out on the dock in the sun, I need it. I need at least 30 minutes. We definitely get that over the weekends, but during the weekday, need to get out there and just kind of chill. But you can see, this is what I try to tell people: let your levels. I just sent out a tweet and I said, you know, just trade the levels, folks. Trade the levels. All right, everything else is speculation. Like right now, right? We're not. Perhaps we broke through the target. Sure, you could take that really quick for a few points, but we could see right now that your trendy edges, these two, are in play for today. Each one of the trendy edges are different. Different colors mean different time frames for different traders, swing versus scalping, and so forth. And right now, remember on the advancers, it's basically telling you to, you know, sell the rip. So I'm not trying to stay in things too long. So yeah, blink. It went up, and I could have trimmed out or whatever, but it's down about 17% right now. Futu, nice push on Futu, by the way. It's all the way at 229. So if you're still holding that, let's go over there and take a look at that real quick. I just noticed that. Good for you, Futu. And it's typically after you sell, right? Trying to get over this high here, and if we get over that, looking for 38. What is Baba doing from our trade plan? See, it's just kind of stuck. Just stuck between resistance and this entry on reclaim area. AMC, I'll give you that chart as well. This was absolutely beautiful, actually, from support up. It could not break over the PMZ. I think we're headed back there, 1575, possibly 16. So this was a good buy the dip scenario. Let's see, what else do we have out there on the daily focus? So I had AMC, Futu, and Baba, and obviously SPY and all that good stuff. So man, Google took off. I was looking at it when it was only $2 up. God darn it. Should have took it out of the PMD right here. Yikes. 23.24 by 23.56. I think if Amazon gets some momentum into their forward split, we could see, some of these names move, and I think that you could see Google settle at 23.24 by 23.58. So I'm gonna look for a spread right there and just see what that looks like. It's a short week, guys, so I like the spread a little bit more, to be honest with you, unless you're in and out really quick. So I'm just trying to price these out according to my edges. That one's not bad. This pays quite a bit, actually. Oh, got filled there. And let's see. Let's go ahead and mark this, what I'm looking for. Oops. And if it really starts going, what I could do is buy back the middle and just make this the outside, and just make this a debit spread. We'll see. So we'll make this green. Anybody know how? Okay, that's good. Got it right there. Okay, we're gonna make this one red. So what I did is I just bought a butterfly out of the money. It's a little early in the week, so there's a possibility that I buy back the body. Sorry, so right here. And I'm just trying to annotate on the chart what I want to happen. Okay. Which green did I pick? Did I pick the right green? I don't know if I did. That's close, yeah. Alright, so this is what it looks like. this. And this is our butterfly. So I'll put this in the room. NFE is just mispriced. Um, it's only down 25 cents. There's big spreads in the options. So I wouldn't, for me, I don't pay attention to what it shows right now. All right, look at Apple. Wait, what do we got here? Okay, AMD. Sorry, butterfly is starting to look a little better. Notice that the stop right here, the edge worked. Okay, some notes. I put the stop where the annotation said on here. Okay, for that long. Notice that the daily and the weekly are bullish. So I personally don't want to be going short. That's what the banners are for. And we're almost here to target. One thing that I wanted to reiterate here at Trendy Trading, stops for the most part are not hard stops for me. Stops are placed where I feel like there's going to be a bounce. What you want to see is a bounce from our stop. It's not a hard stop. Stops should be underneath demand, and what you should see is a bounce from there. But you can see we're getting up to target here. You can also see that the trendy edge worked very well. So yeah, and you can see here, trade the levels. And we want to wait for the break of the 416.50. Yeah, good job there, man. Nice. Nice. Tight like a tiger. And there's that target. You can see it's backing off from there. So if you took SPX, so wait. It's kind of crazy. Netflix been taking its sweet time. I think it can see 210. We tried that a couple weeks ago. No dice. Try it again. what you really want to happen here is I'm going to do this. This is supply, but I want resistance right here. I don't want to scare anybody with the, see if we can get the gap fill. And then we'll go with the target right up here. And we obviously want this to happen quicker. I thought this was supposed to be a magnet. And this is actually resistance. Sorry about that. All right, so this is your blueprint for the trade that we just took on Netflix. So right here. PDD. I don't even know what that is, Con. I think I've heard of it before. I would say, Con, if you're listening, I'd be looking for it to run. The PMZ can hold, looking for it to get up towards 5240. Let's look at some old names really quick, and then I think I'm going to jump off. It's already been a nice morning. Um, I'm not going to jump off of the live stream. I'm just going to take a break, I should say. We're flagging on Square. See if we can get over the PMZ. This could be a fun trade as well. Remember, I'm always looking at the banners to understand what side of the trade I want to be on during the intraday trading. I'm paying attention to the daily uh, banner here. So put a little alert here. Let's get over here to SPY. Good. Nice push up into target here, folks. Nice. See that some of you guys are long on your SPX and SPY. It's awesome. If you're just now thinking about getting long, then you're not trading levels. Yeah, dip and rip. So I have Hulu, Disney, Netflix, Prime. Always resort back to Netflix no matter what. That's just me. Um, I don't know if there's an algorithm though. I get a lot of foreign films because we watch a lot of the like Spanish ones with the subtitles. But I really like Hulu on that $70 a month just because there's so much they offer. Actually a lot of movies that if you go to Prime you're gonna pay like $20 to watch. That's free on Hulu. So I feel like it's not bad. All right, Netflix coming in at 20% again, guys. Remember, we're just making 20, 30% bangers easy. Up to you what you want to do from there. I don't really care. I'm just trying to show you. And there's our zone. Notice SPY's hitting the zone right there. So I'd expect everything else to pull back a little bit. All right, guys, got out of my butterfly for 32%. $1.65 on Google. Just banging it away. If somebody handed you or told you, hey, if you just let me hold this $1,000 for 20 minutes and I give you $300, would you be okay with that? Of course you would. My brother does. So what do you guys think? Do you like Hulu better than um do you guys like Hulu better than Netflix, or how do you feel? Did the Germans like Maverick? That's awesome. See what I tell you? If you're just thinking about going long, you're thinking the wrong way, folks. I don't know why, but everybody wants to get long at the tops instead of buying the levels at the bottom. I'm not saying you guys in here, but in general, it doesn't make any sense. God, man, I keep saying I'm gonna buy Upstart, and I should. I think it's at down here. It's just all right. Must-haves for my trip to the Keys. I need to figure out what I want to do. That's awesome. So you basically got some goosebumps. I remember when I first watched Top Gun, um, it gave me that like, yeah. It's been a long time since I had that, you know, in a movie. Trying to think of like the last time I really enjoyed myself in a movie. We watched so many like weird movies, you know. All right, from here, guys, we're going to inside and up on the upstart. I really like this up to 76. I'm gonna buy a little bit of time on a swing. It's gonna be volatile. Um, I'll probably go with a lower delta, and we'll do a starter. Let me see something really quick. Probably moving back up to the edge at around 74. Well, we have our earnings in August, so what are they seeing here? Period ending 9 August, June, July, August. Just don't think I need that much time. All right, let me put that blueprint up together for you. And you can see over here in my swing account, starting upstart. Using the edges there. Go with something like this. Short term. We're going to use the 618 as resistance. Good trim. And your support is going to come in just under here. And we're going to turn off the edges just really quick because I want this to be clean. That way you can see the targets over here, 75 to 86. And this thing's pretty volatile for a small name, so that's why we're going to do a starter here. And here's the chart for you guys. All right, that's my first directional, like just straight up. Everything else, well, we have TTWO as well, sorry. For swing for the margin account. Everything else is spreads. Let's go back over here and go over the charts that I put out for you guys this morning. Let's see how they're doing. Yeah, very range bound. You can see that, just digestion. Today is one of those days. It's um, unless you're trading with me in and out very quickly, it's just one of those days we're going to intraday trade, and on any swings, it's a set and forget type of trade as long as we're just inside this channel, a lot, across the board. We're just kind of trading in a channel today. All right. Let's see. So Baba, I did not take this trade. You guys know that. Everything's over here. We did Google. Made some money from that as well. We made money from Walmart. We made money from Futu, AMD. Netflix was up 20%. It's down 11% now. Just in the small account, cash count. Blink is down 25%. These are trades I'm willing to hold. It depends on how we close. If we're under 30% and it looks like it's dead, I'll close it. But if we're above that, like say we're down by the end of the day, like 15, 20%, I'll hold on. So I'm just going to hold here for a bit. But we did have several winners, and I think at this time, it's 11 o'clock, about 48 minutes after the European close. I think it gets a little choppy. And again, we'll keep this on the ES futures for right now. Oops. Just like that. And oops, not that one. Come on. There we go. All right, so we made it to the line in the sand, and as you could see, that was a pivot like we talked about. I'm going to move this over there so you can see that. And we know that here at Trendy that this is a target. You want to be trimming into these areas. I specifically said you don't want to be thinking about, longing into this. You should have been thinking about it down here at the trendy edges. So let's go ahead and put the bands on. Let's go ahead and put the edges on, just like that. We'll leave it right there. All right, so just kind of sit and wait. Again, I think we're just digesting at the moment. So, all right, folks, I appreciate you. Thanks for coming in and listening and hanging out. Don't forget to check us out at trendytrading.co. You can get yourself a trial there for just $5 for 7 days and see everything that we do. I'll continue helping out here in the morning the best that I can by using levels and showing you guys, how to become more and better consistent traders. Um, and as you can see, our levels work very, very well. It's just a matter of up here. What's between your ears is very, very important. I can give you levels all day long. Doesn't mean you're going to know how to trade them, or that you're going to trade them the right way. And action.